Hey y'all, I'm Sean. Stick around today as I count down my 10 favorite non-sports cards in my collection. Let's go. Hey y'all, Sean here, back again with another edition of Game On Cards and Collectibles. Today, I'm counting down my 10 favorite non-sports cards in my PC. I appreciate y'all spending some time with me today. I know your time is valuable and I appreciate the support. So yeah, doing something a little different today. Wanted to show you guys what I have related to non-sports cards because I don't show those too often. But let's go ahead and jump in. First up, coming in at number 10, is the 1985 Hasbro Autobots to the Rescues Transformers trading card. A PSA 10. I picked this up a few years ago at a card show, and at the time the PSA 10 had like a pop 3 or a pop 5. It has since gone up quite a bit in population, but it's still a very cool card. Growing up in the 80s, Transformers was a big deal. I remember going to the store with my mom and just walking down the toy aisle and seeing all the Transformers and just being in awe. Huge part of my childhood, and this card kind of represents that piece of it. Glad to have that one in the collection. Also like how the red on the PSA label kind of matches Optimus Prime and the Autobots. Very cool. Coming in at number 9, got the 1991 Impel Mega Metal Ronnie James Dio in a PSA 9. I pulled this out of a box that I ripped on my channel a few years ago. The Mega Metal was kind of a fun rip. This was one of my favorite cards that I pulled from that. Big fan of Dio, although I've never saw Dio in concert. Big fan of him, Ronnie himself. Just the documentary about how they came up with the metal symbol, and just a very cool piece of history here from the junk wax era of 1991. Coming in at number 8, at the Garbage Pail Kids Clerks movie kind of collaboration. Clerk is the card that represents that. This is kind of important for two reasons. Number one is that Garbage Pail Kids, from the 80s was a big deal, a big impression of mine growing up in that time period. And then also having Clerks from the early 90s as an influential, movie, and obviously the spin-off of all the movies thereafter. But just a cool card that kind of represents that time frame. And also, this was a fun rip. When I saw that these were available from Topps a couple years ago, I had to jump on it, pick up a box, and rip it on the channel. Coming in at number 7 is the 1991 Rock Cards Alice Cooper checklist in a PSA 10. Again, height of the junk wax era here in 1991, but Alice Cooper I'm a big fan of. I've seen him several times in concert. The Gem Mint 10 part of it it's a low pop card, but still very affordable from this cards from this era. Although they're hard to get in gem, not necessarily a big demand on these, so you can find them pretty inexpensive. But again, very cool card to have that represents a big part of my non-sports PC. Coming in at number 6, we actually have a tie. Scott Hansen from 2022 Allen and Ginter. Very cool card here that he was in that set. A big fan of Scott. Once I saw that he had cards in this set, I had to get one. The autos were a little bit expensive, but I picked up the relic here, sent it in for grading because it looked pretty clean. Got a Gem Mint 10, which is awesome, which is really hard to do on these thicker memorabilia cards. And then a little bit later on, down the line, maybe, I don't know, 6, 9 months later, I had seen that he had hand signed this card. Although it's not authenticated, I don't think there's any reason why anyone would try to forge a Scott Hansen card. But it's in red ink, and it's got the NFL RZ red zone. They're very cool. Big fan of him every Sunday during the football season. Coming in at number 5, got a 2011 Anchorman Ron Burgundy, the legend of Ron Burgundy. Kind of an interesting card here. This card comes from a 5-year anniversary like box set from the DVD. It's like a collector's edition. Comes with like a T-shirt, some other memorabilia and stuff in that set, but also comes with a pack of trading cards, a set of trading cards, and they weren't made very well, so there's a lot of miscut ones, so it's very difficult to get these in a 10, and they're also very expensive. So I'm putting together the set in a 9. I almost got it completed, but I wanted to have this card represent the set because, you know, the movie's about Ron. So very cool to have that one as well in the PC. Coming in at number 4, very important movie of mine growing up. Childhood, loved playing baseball, loved watching movies about baseball, and there was a lot of them in the early 90s. So we got a 1990 Universal Pay TV Inc. Kevin Costner Field of Dreams. I don't necessarily know the entire origin of this particular card. I want to say it was given out as a promo to cable companies in certain regions of the country maybe. But when I done some research and found this card, and I wanted to get a good representation of this because Field of Dreams is such an important movie to my childhood. You know, got this card in an off-brand Gem Mint 10, like an off-grading company that I hadn't heard of before, but I cracked it, sent it to PSA because it looked really good. They gave it like a 7 or an 8 for some reason. I don't know why, but I cracked it again, sent it to SGC. They gave it a 9, which is probably a little bit more appropriate, although the case has a crack in it. I'll have to figure out what I want to do with that. But yeah, very important card in my non-sports PC. All right, coming in at number 3 is the 1991 Pro Set Yo MTV Raps Run DMC card. It's in an SGC 9 holder. I picked this up several years ago because this Run DMC was a big important band in my childhood. You know, I couldn't tell you. I wore out that Raising Hell cassette in my Walkman, listening to it more times than I could even count. So very important band as I was growing up and discovering new kinds of music. Loved Run DMC, one of my all-time favorite bands. Coming in at number 2, we have the custom trading card. Try to get the glare off there. Of Sean Young playing Ray Finkel / Lois Einhorn in the movie 1990. Was that 94? Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, with the inscription "Laces Out." Now, this isn't truly an actual card that comes from a pack. It's a custom card, but I liked how they did it, and they represented it from the 84 type of Topps card that, you know, 84 was part of the movie where Ray Finkel missed the kick from the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So, awesome card. Very cool to have that one in the PC. And coming in at number 1 is actually a tie, and it represents some cards that I have posted on IG as well as my YouTube channel. But it is the 4-card set of the Married with Children, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Growing up as a kid, you see a common theme. A lot of this is growing up as a kid because nostalgia is part of the importance of collecting, and it kind of tells a story of, you know, things that were impressionable to you. And so that is the 4-card set. I put that together one by one over the course of a couple years. I was surprised to get a 10 in several of these cards, but I also wanted to put them together in somewhat of a theme in that they've got some purple going on here. We've got the purple from the David Faustino 2018 Leaf Pop Century auto. I've got the purple from Christina Applegate's Leaf Pop Century from 2022. Purple from the 2023 Katie Seagal. And then the Ed O'Neill, I picked that one up back in 2013, I think, when I found out that he had autographed cards in that set. So awesome. That's by far my favorite, non-sport little set that I put together. And all of these were fun. I hope you guys have had fun too in watching, seeing some of those cards that I have put together in my collection. Appreciate y'all spending some time with me today, and we will see you back here real soon. Take care, everybody.